Find some good cops? No. Did we find some accountability? Well, maybe. Let's see. 3 Lee County Sheriff's Office deputies fired, 4 others disciplined after excessive force investigation. Okay. 7 Lee County Sheriff's Office employees were disciplined, including a sergeant and 2 deputies who were fired in connection to an arrest involving excessive force by a deputy on August the 11th. Now, this is from 2023. Why am I bringing this up? Well, it's 2025, and we have some updates. Lee County, Florida. 7 Lee County Sheriff's Office employees were disciplined, including a sergeant and 2 deputies who were fired in connection to an arrest involving excessive force by a deputy on August 11th. The case being investigated involved the arrest of Cory Samek. He was charged with trespassing. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, according to the Lee County Sheriff's Office learned that August's arrest on Palm Beach Boulevard was not properly reported and documented. Wow, that'll learn them. Lee County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit and Internal Affairs Division investigated a sergeant, 3 deputies, a captain, and 2 Corrections Bureau supervisors in connection to the arrest. Well, damn. Sergeant Christopher Meyers was investigated for improper conduct, use of non-deadly force contrary to rules and regulations procedure, improper conduct, conduct unbecoming, improper conduct, untruthfulness in proceedings or reports, job knowledge and performance general proficiency. This right here usually gets you on the Brady list. Sergeant Meyers, well, he's a sergeant. He's a smart one. He's got all the stripes, right? He is not. Sergeant Meyers was fired from the sheriff's office. Deputy Bradley Davidson was investigated for Bradley, sound like trouble, improper conduct, conduct unbecoming, job knowledge and performance, general proficiency, improper conduct, untruthfulness in proceedings or reports. It means they lie. They get on the Brady list. They can't testify in court. Deputy Davidson was fired from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. So that was him, and then he got fired, and that was him, and then he got fired. Okay. Deputy Alexander Ricci was investigated for improper conduct, conduct unbecoming, job knowledge and performance, general proficiency, improper conduct, untruthfulness in proceedings and reports. Wow, another liar, pants on fire. And Deputy Ricci was fired from Lee County Sheriff's Office. Additionally, Captain John, whoever that is, the watch commander on scene, was demoted to the rank of deputy for failure to ensure the incident was documented. Deputy Frank Marchetti was suspended for 10 days without pay for conduct unbecoming in job knowledge and performance. Wow, some suspensions. 2 Corrections Bureau supervisors were suspended for 3 days without pay. Lieutenant Benson, whoever that is, and Sergeant Patrick Harold failed to perform their duties, causing a delay in reporting the incident, according to the Sheriff's Office. On events, anyway, they were probably sitting back trying to think, should we say anything or should we keep our mouth shut? If we keep our mouth shut and some shit goes down, we're really going to be in trouble. If we say something, maybe at some point we can save our benefits package. So anyway, and here's a little snippet from what's going on with this.
The NBC2 investigators have confirmed that this is the man at the center of an excessive force investigation that ended with a Lee County Sheriff Sergeant and 2 deputies being fired. Cory Samek was treated at the hospital before being taken to jail. NBC2's Sarah Metz is live on Palm Beach Boulevard, where Samek was arrested in August.
Yeah, Kelly, the Lee County Sheriff's Office confirms that this is where that incident happened that ultimately led up to those 3 deputies being arrested. Now, we did some digging to find out who was the man that they were arresting. His name, Cory Samek. Reports say Cory Samek went to the hospital before being booked into the Lee County jail, looking like this on August 11th. His arrest details appear to match the incident the sheriff mentioned in yesterday's statement, involving former Sergeant Christopher Meyers.
Sergeant. Can we shave? Can we get some standards? I'm just saying. They look like shit. They act like shit. I keep harping on the same stuff, but damn, let's be for real.
Deputy Bradley Davidson and Deputy Alexander Ricci. They were all fired after the sheriff's office says an internal affairs investigation found them to
And I'm not sure why they're not showing their faces, because I got another video. They're going to show you all of them.
not be truthful in their reporting about the use of excessive force on August 11th at the gas station at 4843 Palm Beach Boulevard. Reports that are supposed to be standard in any case any excessive force is used by deputies. Samek's arrest also appears to be linked to a captain being demoted and an additional deputy and 2 Corrections Bureau supervisors being suspended. Now, we continued to dig into this situation involving Samek and the sheriff's office.
That is absolutely ridiculous. Law enforcement did this to the man. And you're going to see a video of why they say that this is fine.
Turns out the state attorney's office dropped all charges against Samek 2 weeks after he was arrested right here on Palm Beach Boulevard. Yeah, now I asked the state attorney's office exactly why they dropped those charges against Samek, and they told me that they had no comment. I also asked the sheriff's office if they had comment today. They did not wish to comment. And then we also called Samek's public defender, who says that they need to speak to their client first before making any comments. We're local today from Lee County. Sarah Metz, NBC2.
So, I have another article. I'm not sure how much the previous article is gonna, but it's lately from this one, so let's see what this is about. Lee County Sheriff's Office terminates sergeant, 2 deputies discipline 5 others in use of force. Lee County Sheriff's Office terminated several deputies for an internal investigation, use of force. Christopher Meyers, Deputy Bradley Davidson were terminated, and Alexander were terminated Tuesday and will face charges. Sheriff Carmine immediately opened a separate investigation to the department's major crime unit. So at least they're trying to get on top of it. The sheriff explained on social media, since the use of force was unreported on August 11th arrest, he sought an internal investigation. Moreover, Captain John, the watch commander on the scene, was given a notice of demotion. Okay, we knew that. Taken on the rank of deputy as he failed to ensure the incident was documented. Frank was notified he would be suspended for 10 days without pay. Marciano explained it was because of conduct unbecoming and job knowledge and performance. Well, they're all liar, pants on fire, because we just saw that. How old is this one from? October 17, 2023. Okay, so the other one around the same time. In addition, 2 Correction Bureau supervisors were suspended for 3 days without pay. We already know this. Sheriff, as your sheriff, the public trust is the most important and effective. Is most important to effectively provide the level of service they deserve," said the sheriff. "These deputies' actions and interactions took away our ability to do just that." And we already know Meyers, and here's the charges, and he's gone. Bradley, here's the charges, he's gone. I was in it. It's an active investigation. The sheriff's office said they will release specific details, events, and evidence from internal investigation as the investigation allows. Alrighty then. So this was October 2023. Let's see what the fired ones have to say, or at least one of them.
Exclusive investigation. A former sergeant and a former deputy from the Lee County Sheriff's Office break their silence and explain what they say happened during an arrest that got them and another deputy fired. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lois Tomey.
I'm Chris Safati. Sheriff Carmine Marcino announced their terminations on Facebook in October, writing, quote, "Use of force was not properly reported and documented. Sergeant Christopher Meyers and Deputy Bradley Davidson were both fired for conduct unbecoming a law.
Also, I'd like to note, use of force was not properly executed.
Law enforcement officer, untruthfulness in reports, and for lack of job knowledge and performance. On top of that, Meyers was also fired for improper use of force. Marcino claimed a criminal investigation is underway and didn't answer our questions about it. Wink News investigative reporter Celine MacArthur digs into the arrest that led to the firings and has the video that's at the center of this investigation.
Look at Sheriff Carmine Marcino's Facebook post, and you'll also see he shut down your ability to comment or ask questions.
Of course he did, because they find some shit that they know they are not going to be able to hide, because there's video from the place it took place at, and there's probably other people recording it. At some point it was going to come out. But they're not going to have you comment on it. Taxpayers just keep paying your taxes because they're going to need to hire some more deputies.
Learn more, but LCSO won't release the case file because there's an open criminal investigation. I also asked LCSO for an interview with the sheriff, but they have not provided me with an answer. In the meantime, I do have an exclusive copy of the Internal Affairs summary for former Sergeant Christopher Meyers. He says he gave it to me to back up his story about what happened to 45-year-old Cory Samek during the arrest that got him fired. It's 2 a.m. August 17th. LCSO deputies Alexander Ricci and Brad Davidson are on the scene of a traffic stop near this gas station at Kingston Drive and Palm Beach Boulevard in Tice. Sergeant Meyers drives up to check on them.
I hear yelling in the background, like people yelling at each other, and I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Meyers says Samek, who appears drunk, approaches them.
Appears drunk, that's in the eye of the beholder. Anytime you have contact with law enforcement, they're going to try to find some way to find something wrong with you. Now, he does have a alcoholic beverage, it seems like, but I'm just saying.
Carrying an open can of the alcoholic beverage, Twisted Tea.
In Deputy Ritchie's face, cursing him out, yelling at him. He's continuing to
Where's body cam footage? Where is body cam footage? This was 2023. Where's it at?
threaten to fight me.
Telling us to take our vests off, telling us to take our gun belts off, and wanting to fight us in the middle of the street.
If I had a nickel every time my husband came home from work, and as I mentioned before, he was in law enforcement for many years out in Surf City, North Carolina, and told me every time somebody said, if you didn't have that gun and that badge on, I'd beat your ass. Or, why don't you take that badge off, I'll whip your ass. Take that gun belt off, I'll whip your ass. It wouldn't matter if he had it on or not. They're still law enforcement. I mean, people will threaten you all the time. It's just part of the job, sorry.
Meyers asked Samek to leave.
We typically try not to arrest people for very minor county ordinance if we can help it.
I'm finding that extremely hard to believe. Tickets are a money-making entity for these people.
So we're trying to get rid of this guy. Just telling him to move on, get out of here, leave us alone.
Samek won't go. Meyers goes into the gas station to see if the night manager wants him removed from the property.
So, when the sergeant goes in there to ask the people that work in the gas station if they want Cory removed from the property, that is soliciting a trespass. Law enforcement cannot solicit a trespass. Law enforcement can't show up into a parking lot and decide they don't like the color shirt you got on and you're talking a little bit loud, so go inside and say, hey, there's a guy out here or there's a girl out here creating a little bit of disturbance. You want them trespass? And they say yes. They cannot do that. Law enforcement cannot solicit a trespass. That's where we're at with that.
The sergeant gets a yes to the trespass, but still can't convince Samek to leave.
I go, if you don't go, you're going to jail. That's the last warning. After that, I have to do something. And he continues. I'm not leaving.
What happens next is captured on the gas station's surveillance camera. Meyers tells me he went back 4 days later with his personal cell phone to record the 45 seconds you're about to see.
Of course he did. Question is, why does all law enforcement not have body cams? And when they do, law enforcement, all of them should have body cams, and they should be streamed 24/7. I'm just saying.
A video he says he provided to LCSO and the state attorney's office.
I
This
go to
guy
grab
has
his
his
hand.
hands down.
He's facing me. I'm probably closer than you and I are right now. I mean, as close as you can get to where I can reach out and actually touch you. He yanks away.
And you walked up to him, his hands are down, and then you became the primary aggressor. Sorry.
I don't know if when he turns, if he's going to swing at me or
If he's going to swing at me, oh, I'm so scared. Fear for my life. I'm so tired of these pussy-ass cops. Every time you turn around, they're going to throw you on the ground. They're going to beat the dog shit out of you. Or they're just going to shoot and kill you and be done with it. This guy's hands are down.
not. I punch him before he can do that.
Meyer then grabs Samek and takes him.
And then grabs him around the neck and throws him to the ground. Because why? Because we can. Because there's no accountability. Well, there's usually no accountability, but apparently here, there was a shit ton of accountability. And it's about time.
To the ground.
It wasn't a clean takedown because he's resisting me. So I sort of stumble. I take him.
Also, if a law enforcement officer says, hey, come here, and you turn and you walk away, they will say you are resisting. Okay.
Him down and I fall basically on top of him.
What you can't see in Meyer's zoomed-in recording is deputies
His hands
Ricci
are
and
down.
Davidson standing feet away, watching.
Standing feet away watching. Probably standing there recording it.
Ricci tells LCSO investigators he was, quote, evaluating where he could be best used to assist.
Evaluating where So I'm going to stand back and I'm going to watch. I'm going to see how this shit goes down. And if it looks like the sergeant is going to get in trouble, guess what? I ain't getting in the middle of it.
Davidson says he, quote, did not see how it would make a positive effect.
Did not see how it make a positive effect. Well, you could balls up and go there and ask your sergeant what the fuck he's doing. We could start there.
Do you think you did anything wrong?
I could have acted a little quicker.
You could have stopped that. He had his hands down the entire time. He's got his arms around his neck. Can't wait to throw him on the ground. And you're standing back going, this shit looks like it's going south. I'm just going to stand back and say, I don't know what happened.
In helping Sergeant Meyer detain him, I could not have prevented any injury because I never explicitly watched.
Now, two of them still standing here watching, thinking, wow, that's a sergeant. If I say something, I'm probably going to get my ass chewed out. And this right here, sergeant, is what breeds more of him. Which is why you usually can't get rid of him. I can't believe that they were able, they just, I don't want to say able, they can anytime they want to, went in and said, that shit's wrong and y'all have to go.
Any injury-causing behavior.
So I'm wrestling with this guy, and I'm giving him orders to give me his hands.
I'm giving him orders to give me his hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. He had his hands down. You stepped to him, grabbed him around his neck, and threw him to the ground. The whole time you're going to yell some fucking bullshit orders, and you expect that he can just follow them. This guy is a poor me, listen, here's my side, feel bad for me. He's a thug-ass tyrant, and he needs his peace officer's license burnt. Permanently revoked.
And I give him multiple strikes. I give him probably 3 strikes.
He is hitting this man in the face. And these two are just standing back watching.
In the torso areas, he doesn't stop. Still trying to throw me off of him. So I continue. I give him a couple more.
Now, this guy you can't see because this big thug's half on top of him. Look like he's making any movements to try to get away. Because if he was, I would think these two would be trying to stop him from getting away.
2 or 3. Stop again. Give him another opportunity. Give me your hands. Nope. Gave him a couple more.
Still standing and watching, but this guy is not complying. And he said torso, but this guy's face, he has beat the ever-loving dog crap out of his face, and these two are still like, I don't see where I can be of much use right now.
The other guys in this quick ordeal.
Also, I'm betting had there not been some footage of it from the gas station, they'd have probably said, well, he fell, or he did this to himself.
Come up behind and help me dig his hands out. We put him in the car. That was the last time that we saw him, or last time that I saw him.
I found Samek at the gas station. He didn't want to be interviewed on camera, but talked to me about what happened. I showed him the surveillance video. Samek argues it's proof he didn't resist, and claims at least another one of Meyer's punches you see him throw landed on his face. LCSO Defensive Tactics Coordinator
This looked like he was punching him in the torso. This would be the torso area down here. No, he was punching him right there. Look at that man. That is absolutely ridiculous. Everyone involved in this should be in jail.
Scott Griffith deemed the level of force used by Meyer in the video, quote, appeared to be in accordance with LCSO policy and procedures.
Appeared to be in accordance with the sheriff's office policies and procedures. Walk up to a man that has his hands down, exchange some words with him, put your arms around his neck, throw him to the ground, and beat the dog shit out of him. And the captain says, no policy violation here, which is probably why. I can't remember if he's one of the ones that's gone to her. I don't know. Anyway.
However, had Davidson and Ricci intervened, it, quote, could have potentially prevented further injuring.
Could have, if they had intervened, what would the sergeant have had to say to them? Would the sergeant then been fighting the two deputies too? Could have potentially prevented further injury from this one. Yeah, there's a lot of shit they could have done. They did not. They want to sit back, ride around in the car, sit around at the fast food restaurants. You can go into town and you can pass cookout, and there'll be 6 or 7 of them sitting in the parking lot bullshitting. You can come back 2 or 3 hours later, there's excuse me, they're still sitting there doing absolutely nothing. They don't want to do anything. They want to sit around. They want to ride out their what am I trying to say? They want to ride out their time. They want to collect a paycheck. They want to collect their benefits. They want to be done. And it's a wonder the sergeant didn't claim some PTSD bullshit, because you claim PTSD short term, you can retire in 5 years with about 90% base pay, and by the time you get all your disability benefits, all your medical will be covered, all your extra benefits that come with it. You can just, some departments it's 10 years. If it's PTSD that's developed over time, you retire with 90% of your pay, your disability benefits, your PTSD benefits, your medical benefits, your everything. 5 or 10 years, and you're set. It's ridiculous. They need to stop all that bullshit, what I'm trying to say.
Mr. Samek. Samek also tells me and LCSO investigators the use of force didn't stop there, claiming he was struck by 4 deputies while handcuffed.
There was not a strike, not one, where he was handcuffed and secured.
But
where is the body cam footage? Do they have body cams and we're not seeing the footage yet, or do they just not have every damn law enforcement officer out there should have a body cam on.
Meyer and Davidson can't prove that with the video Meyer chose to record on his personal cell phone. The IA summary shows that Samek was handcuffed at 2 a.m., but he wasn't removed from the gas station and taken to the hospital until 3 a.m. So there is 1 hour that's unaccounted for, and the gas station video is long gone. So the potentially incriminating or exonerating evidence is gone for good.
It's better than nothing. Because if we didn't have that video, they'd be going off of strictly his word.
The amount of time...
They wouldn't. How often do they go strictly off of anybody that's not government's word? Almost never. They probably went to take him to jail, and the jail's like, no, we're not taking him. You can take him to the hospital first and then bring him back. Still, there's an hour that's unaccounted for. It's got to stop.
Is unaccounted for is simply us doing paperwork.
An act.
Incorrect. You do not sit around when you have a prisoner in your car and you're going to the hospital and do paperwork. This man needs medical attention right now. Why they didn't just call and have EMS come and get him, and one of them could have rode with them if he was that big of a threat, and go from there. You do not sit around for an hour and do paperwork. He is completely full of shit. Sorry.
Davidson admits he can't prove. He also challenges whether Samek was really hurt during his arrest.
I didn't recall seeing any medical expert weigh in on the stage of...
You didn't see any medical expert weigh in? You sat there and watched the sergeant beat the dog shit out of him.
fractures and in what stage of healing.
You mentioned like his level
Oh, so
of
what
healing.
you're trying to say is, we saw his face, we saw the sergeant beat the crap out of him, but he could have had prior injuries that were in different states of healing. You're a complete idiot. You need to go dig some damn ditches somewhere.
Like, you're saying it could have happened before you guys had encountered him?
Several transients in the area that know him have reported to us on more than one occasion he is often getting in fights.
You saw him for 10 minutes before that happened. You guys kept going back and forth trying to de-escalate. Did he look like he had injuries to his face when that was happening?
No, but I can't see. I don't have an X-ray machine. I can't.
You don't have to have an x-ray machine, you moron. Trying to cover, it's not working. Everything is being recorded all the time now. Gonna bring some accountability to the little punks. It's about time. He's so full of shit.
Can't see inside his face.
The IA summary does not offer a conclusive explanation for Samek's injuries, which include fractures to his jaw and right orbital area.
Other than the fact that we saw this punk thug beat the dog shit out of him. Okay.
So I don't know, I can't testify as to what maybe happened in the car. If he was banging his head in the car at some point.
Oh, of course. Anytime a detainee shows up at a hospital with a bunch of injuries, government will tell you he probably did it to himself.
Despite the findings and unanswered questions in the IA summary, Meyer and Davidson don't believe they should have been fired.
And it was
I think they should be fired, and all of them involved should be in jail.
It's projected at the sheriff's office that if you get into something and you get called into IA or you get called in by a supervisor, and if you tell them the truth and you tell them this is why, that they will take care of you.
That they will take care of you. It's the blue line. It's the thin blue line. It's the brotherhood. They'll take care of you until you, I don't know, beat people. It's ridiculous.
I asked 3 independent law enforcement experts to review the information and evidence we've been able to collect. Dave Benson, retired as Director of Law Enforcement Training for the United States State Department in Washington, D.C. Jim Durain is a retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent, and Jeff Meyers is the former Fort Myers Police Deputy Chief. They all believe Marcino's decision to fire the deputies was reasonable.
And they may not like it,
Damn.
but sometimes the truth hurts. You can't behave this way and expect that everything's going to be just fine. You have a mother.
Well, they thought it would be just fine because they thought that the blue line would save them, and it's about time the blue line is dismantled.
Shot that looks like someone's been pummeled, and there's no explanation for how that got there.
There are many different techniques to use. They don't all involve force. The guy's hands.
I'm just saying, if he was that big of a deal, a threat, they got OC spray, they got tasers, they got so much shit on them fucking bat belts, but the first thing it's a wonder they didn't shoot and kill him. First thing they usually go for is the gun.
Down the whole time. He did not make a threatening gesture.
Hands are down.
I question why the other officers did not get involved and just kind of stood by. It opens up a lot of questions.
Because they're trying to figure out how they're going to get their ass out of the shit that's about to come down.
Into what actually went on that evening.
Coming up tomorrow on Wink News, the 3 law enforcement experts discuss what they say was the biggest mistake made during the use of force arrest. They also weigh in on a video of Sheriff Carmine Marcino that I got exclusively from a source where he appears to be sharing his view on use of force.
I'm going to see if I can't find that video and maybe make a shorter one to see what the follow-up is to this. This is from January 14th, 2025. It's a couple days ago, so it might be a minute. Anyway, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, and I am out.
I'm investigative reporter Salim MacArthur, and that is a story you will only see on Wink News.